Today we are witness to the dawn of a new communications era, brought upon us by satellites, lasers, fiber optics, microprocessors, and magnetic bubbles, for the transfer of information, ideas, knowledge.
You have no conviction. You only want to listen to this motion picture meltdown.
Alright, question of the week, boys. If you could blow up one person's head in Hollywood with a scanner power, who would it be?
Why would they have to be in Hollywood?
Because it's funnier that way. Okay, any famous person. Anyone.
Dead or alive?
No, they have to be alive. Because they're already dead.
You can't explode another system.
No more Ozzy.
Well, that's up to you, Steven.
Okay, so we'll start with D-Hart. If you could explode one head with Scanner's mind power...
And they have to be a public figure, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Andy McDowell.
Fuck yes!
Didn't even think about it.
Such a great choice.
I blow a bitch's head up.
Philip.
Well, the problem for me is that most of the people that I hate are already dead. Especially.
Well, I mean, that's not a problem. That's a good thing.
I mean, it's a problem for this question, though.
How did they get that way?
So you were gonna say Paul Walker, weren't you?
I definitely didn't explode their heads. Why would I say Paul Walker? Stephen, he was a wonderful actor. And just a wonderful gentleman, indeed.
Dude, I'm gonna punch you through that window.
Into the snow.
And I was bleeding out of my chest.
He was such a philanthropist, Stephen.
Oh, fuck you. And fuck everybody on Facebook that says Paul Walker was an amazing actor, an amazing person. You didn't know him. Neither did I. Go on.
You didn't know him. He was abusive and mean.
Really?
Yeah, because he's made nothing but shit for so long. So many years.
Yeah.
He's made some really good movies. But for the most part, it's garbage. It's worse than Nicolas Cage for me.
Nicolas Cage or Chris Klein was one of the two. I'm going to have to say Nicolas Cage because he's much more relevant. So Nicolas Cage, but congratulations.
Nicolas Cage isn't a crazy Scientologist, though.
Mm.
He doesn't need to be.
That factors into it for me.
Well, for me, Nicolas Cage is just way shittier than John Travolta.
Spell your name!
I don't give a shit. I would rather...
No!
No.
No!
No.
No!
Yes,
No.
Battlefield Earth is one of the fucking worst movies I've ever seen.
Name a worse movie that Nicolas Cage is in that's worse than Battlefield Earth.
Wicker Man.
No.
You're a fucking liar.
Wicker
That
Man
has
is
some
way...
great parts in it.
Dude,
The bees!
Dude, they are
That's at least funny, and it's not 30 hours long, and it's at least linear, like, makes sense.
they're
any
they're
sense.
neck and neck. I will give you that, but they're not worse than one another.
Fuck
They are
you.
neck and neck. Wicker Man
is slightly better. For
Did
the
you-
bear costume
Did you see Philip's
and the bees.
We have this light behind us. Philip's face in the light just made him look extremely scary. Like he gave me this look, and in the light, he looked like very murdery.
Like he came out of the light.
Well, we're talking very murdery things.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, we are talking about murdery
Yeah,
people
we are
with
definitely
mind
talking
powers.
about exploding somebody's head with
so
mind powers.
yeah. So Nicolas Cage, John Travolta, Andy McDowell, and for Mark,
Jimmy Fallon, fuck him.
Good pick.
Yeah.
I would pick Jimmy Fallon too.
And the
If it
thing
wasn't-
is that I would have to have somebody time travel me back to like 1992 to get rid of him then.
Stop him from yeah. I
from
agree.
Fever Pitch with Drew Barrymore.
No, that's to
thought it was
stop
Queen
him
Latifah.
from ever being
What?
I thought Queen Latifah was in that.
She may have been. Drew Barrymore was too, but I had to see that movie in the fucking theater.
I don't think you had to.
I probably did at that point because it was getting me laid.
I wouldn't want to get laid.
I don't know about a universe where I would want to pay that kind of a price to get laid.
Right. It's not even like
I'd rather pay a hooker.
ticket.
Hey, I would rather pay this hooker $1,000
$1,000.
than pay.
I'd rather pay a hooker that looked like Jimmy Fallon $1,000 than to go watch a movie with Jimmy Fallon in it. Because at least when you get done fucking that hooker, you can beat the shit out of it.
Wow.
Damn.
Oh,
That's
Yes.
just, that has to
I
be.
fucking hate Jimmy Fallon more than anyone
This
else
is
in
super
Hollywood.
dark.
Well, I think it goes well.
He
well
laughs
with
at
the
his own
podcast.
goddamn jokes.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Well,
He's very terrible.
holy shit.
And he's a
less-
shitty host.
But just so you guys know, I would have killed Bernie Mac and and Rodney Dangerfield way before I would have killed John Travolta.
Now you're just kind of this is what's left.
Exactly.
This is what's left for me to explode.
I'm just sick of John Travolta making shitty movies.
Well,
I'm sick of it.
a lot of it had to do with his son dying too, and I think that kind of has.
No, he was doing shitty movies before.
Well, I know he was, but now it's like he just doesn't give a fuck. However, I did like that Killing Season movie that just came out with Robert De Niro.
I still haven't watched it.
Yeah.
I've got it on my Netflix queue to watch it though.
And I did like that, but to speak of John Travolta, he was fucked up or something at the Oscars because
Adina Bazooble.
No, it was
he was trying to put a fucking like gypsy curse on the crowd.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah,
It's like fucking Scientology curse.
It's like, John Travolta, you have one job.
You have one job to read. You just need to spell her name.
Like
Callback.
he had to announce Idina Menzel for while she was performing.
Abel
And
Mazim.
He calls her.
I don't even know what it was,
It
was nothing near her fucking name.
It was like Habel
No, it was
Mazim.
Badel Nazim.
Badel Bazim.
Badel Nazim. And
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
and then at that part, like all the lights faded on him real
Like,
quick.
really
Just
fast.
like, and then that gave you that like 2 seconds to be like, "The fuck did you just say?"
You're not quite sure he
It kind of
fucked
made
it up
it
or
worse.
not.
It's like, who did he announce? I didn't hear-
Who?
And then some fictional character has to come out so he doesn't feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's like, here I am, I'm Badal Nazim.
Well, you know who they won't
I'm
be asking
wickedly
back
talented.
now to read on the Oscars.
Yeah, no shit.
I wouldn't be able to come up with that name either because I've never heard of that fucking person.
It doesn't matter. He read it off. He read it opposite. It was
Well,
like Frexy
And then
Stankenstein.
everybody
Frankie Frankenstein.
and then everybody
I bet he was
says
a real drone.
everybody says he has dyslexia, and that's why.
Oh, yeah.
That's Mark's crock of shit face.
It's like, you know what he has?
Motherfucker
Dyslexia
got
and an
dyslexia,
addiction
but
to
has
heroin.
Yeah, but has been reading scripts for 40 years.
Maybe he's just been reading them backwards.
Maybe that's why he sucks now.
Yeah. Maybe he just reads them backwards before he accepts the job, and he realizes that the movie's completely different than how it's supposed to be.
Or maybe the movie's filmed and maybe that's why
Pulp Fiction
is
was filmed
in that
backwards.
order.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, because when John Travolta walked in, he was like, I'm confused. This is all in order.
Okay, now that we're done with our John Travolta tangent,
Okay.
so the reason that our opening question had to do with mind explosions, head explosions.
Mind explosion!
Mind explosions too.
We are doing, per D Hart's request, 2 David Cronenberg movies, which we've already podcasted. The Fly, which is my favorite Cronenberg movie. We have just
Exceptional film.
No, it's a
Oh, yeah.
masterpiece.
yeah. We are doing Scanners.
I thought it was okay.
And fuck you, Mark. You love that movie.
I do. I love the
Stop cheating.
I know, that's exactly why I did it. It's okay. Yeah.
We're doing Scanners as well as Videodrome.
It's a Cronencast.
The Cronencast.
Yeah, it's a dude.
Yep.
I had completely confused Videodrome with Naked Lunch, which is way fucking worse. Like, Naked Lunch is fucking awful. It's fucking terrible.
Well,
I've
we'll
never
start.
seen Naked
We'll
Lunch.
start with Videodrome. Actually, it's from 1983.
I can say nothing about it because I thought it was a different movie.
You pulled a Philip on this one.
I did. I didn't know
You
that.
watched the wrong movie?
No, I didn't. Like I was.
Well, that's
like,
what I did.
I was like, oh, I've seen this before, so I don't need to watch it. And then I went back and went, this isn't the right movie. This has James Woods in it.
Yeah.
James Woods wasn't in Naked Lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, Videodrome. What am I talking about? And I was like, fuck it.
So Videodrome is fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Well, I mean, but really, name a Cronenberg movie that's not
No,
fucked up.
this is beyond everything I've ever seen by him. Like, and Cronenberg's kind of calmed shit down now. Like, History of Violence and Eastern Promises, way more normal.
Well, way more normal because
Was
they're
he,
way more.
did he
they're-
do those, or
they're
was
different
that Fincher?
audience.
I thought that was David
No,
Fincher.
No.
Cronenberg did those
He
movies.
got out of he was in a big sci-fi phase for a long time, and he got out of it around the 2000s.
Yeah, and they're like way more realistic and really just normal movies. I mean, there's nothing really off the wall about either one of those movies.
I think they're.
Other than when Viggo Mortensen shoots that guy in the face in the diner, and his face is on the ground, and the whole bottom of his jaw's gone, and his tongue's going.
That scene is fucking badass. And he curb stomps that other dude or whatever.
Why are there always head explosions in fucking
Because
Cronenberg?
Cronenberg
Because
he
fucking
wants to
loves
see
it.
heads explode.
Head explosions put asses in seats.
I can't fucking argue that.
Those are the words that will be forever remembered
Yeah.
by D. Hart. Head explosions put asses in seats.
Yep.
That's true.
God, shirt right there.
Yeah.
Motion picture Meltdown. Head explosions put asses in
in
seats.
seats.
Yep. God, that's great. So James Woods plays Max Wren, who's the, I'm not even going to say protagonist because fuck.
He's kind of a scumfuck.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of a scumfuck.
And
He's like, you know what the future of TV is? Pretend snuff.
this movie.
At least he thinks it's pretend, though.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's true.
And he's like you said, he's kind of a scumfuck anyway, but
Scumfuck sounds like a nasty bubble gum.
D. Hart, why don't you talk about the plot? Because I'm still kind of confused about the plot of this movie, and you
You're
seem
confused.
to seem to have more of a grasp on it. Yeah.
Because he jerks off to Cronenberg.
It's a perfectly. I mean, I thought that it was really fucked up movie, but I thought that the plot was pretty obvious. I mean, pretty.
I guess I was really confused about what was real and what was fake, and I guess that was
Well, that's
okay.
kind of the point.
right. And I know that, but that kind of fucked with me because I didn't really understand. If I didn't know what was real and what was fake, I didn't know what part of the plot was real and what part of the plot was fake. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
So
Well,
good.
okay. Well, Max Wren runs a TV station, and
From Toronto.
They play like a lot of sleazy like exploitation shit.
Right.
And,
Basically, just whatever he thinks he can make people watch.
And he also
yeah.
likes piercing chicks that he fucks.
He doesn't like
well,
to.
that,
But she
that
requested
was
it.
all her idea.
That's,
Yeah.
that's true.
And
That's
it just so
100%
happens
request.
she was into Videodrome, which is fucked up. So he goes on a talk show with this lady we're talking about, which is can't remember what the fuck her name is. It's a
Nikki
Brand.
Yeah,
Okay.
Deborah Harry plays
Yeah.
her.
He's also on with a Dr.
He's on
Brian
with.
Oblivion.
He's also on with the TV,
yeah, who only appears over TV on TV.
which you find out later because he's no longer alive, and he hasn't been for a while.
And if you don't know James Woods, by the way, he is the voice of Hades and Hercules, John Carpenter's Vampires.
He
He's
plays
in
James Woods and a
Played
lot
a
of episodes
sleazy
of Family Guy.
Casino.
Yeah, he plays James Woods. He plays sleazy fucking Casino.
Yeah, he's usually sleazy.
Sleazy. And he's like,
He
I
has a
can't.
very sleazy chin. I feel like if they made a live-action version of Beauty and the Beast, he would be Gaston.
I can't decide whether he's a poor man's Jeffrey Rush or Jeffrey Rush is a poor man's James Woods.
You've said that, like, I argue with you, and you're like, Jeffrey Rush is better, and I'm like, no way, James Wood is way better.
I don't know. Like, they both are really fucking good. So, they're poor men each other.
Why can't they just both be dudes?
Because they look so fucking similar.
They're poor versions of themselves.
When I saw House on Haunted Hill, I thought that Jeffrey Rush's character in House on Haunted Hill was James Woods.
Oh, yeah. I did too. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so he gets a hold of a pirated broadcast called Videodrome, which he's got this guy looking for new shit to play, and it's just torture and murder and rape.
Like there's nothing to it except for
people
just.
will be into this.
I mean, his theory is he's watching it and he's just like, man, I can't take my eyes off it. And it's like, no, you're just a fucking creep. Like
Yeah.
everyone else would be like, oh, what the fuck, and turn the channel as fast as they could.
It's like normal people would most of the time, but there are fucking videos of beheadings on fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
People watch them by the fucking millions.
That's true. You're right.
That's because
it's
everybody
fucked up.
has this morbid attraction to death. They do. They want to be like, I want to know what it really looks like when someone dies. Like, I can't I'm not going to lie. I watched Saddam Hussein get hanged like 400 times.
400?
Like, at least. Like,
Little excessive.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I can just see
I
Mark
would
just
rewind
sitting in
it,
front of the
they'd be
TV with a bucket of chicken in his lap and then no clothes on, and he's just watching it over and over again.
And there's a hole in the bottom of the chicken bucket.
Yeah. He's just eating the chicken until he gets down to his dick.
wearing socks. Yeah, and then I got grease.
With
It's the chicken grease, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did that go?
And then he puts like a tiny...
No, I mean, I remember when somebody told me like Saddam Hussein's execution is on, you can find it on the internet, and I was like, oh, cool. I've never seen a person be hanged before.
Well,
Now I realize I'm fucked up.
yeah.
So then I watched it, and I was like, is this real? So of course you have to watch it again. But like, is that actually him, or is this just the actor who played Saddam Hussein in Hot Shots? You know?
But it's pretty fucking similar.
Yeah,
God, he
I'm
looked
sitting there
just fucking
rewinding
like
it.
that guy.
I swear to God, I
What
watched.
if they just killed him instead?
wouldn't be the
What
first time
the
they
fuck?
killed a Saddam Hussein decoy.
The real Saddam has a scar on his forehead.
Fucking
So they just give
ridiculous.
that dude a scar by whooping his ass. So
Well, I was
anyway,
referencing
he wants to
Blade.
get this video drum show onto his network because it's fucked up and he thinks people will watch it. But
Right.
at the time, he thinks it's just pretend torture porn.
Right.
Or just torture, I guess. There's not really much porn going on in there, is there?
And
Well,
it makes
they're just naked women.
So, I mean, yeah.
So,
and it makes you hallucinate.
well,
Right,
you
because
don't know that at first.
It
Right,
beams
right,
a
right,
tumor
right.
into your skull.
Beams a tumor.
Yeah, that's exactly
Right, I know, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, it was a plot to kill all the fucked up people in the world.
Right.
And it was working.
Right.
Because James Woods is fucked up.
Yeah.
Or at least control them. Because if basically, once you have the Videodrome tumor in your brain, you're open to suggestion from Videodrome.
Yeah. Also, your stomach is open for storage.
Well, that's all in his head.
Obviously, but at that part when you first starts hallucinating,
It's
That-
fucked up.
Yeah.
That's how they represent like them being able to give suggestions to people, because it's basically turning him into a cassette player where they just put whatever they want in and then he just does it.
Right.
So they're suggesting that he, goes on a rampage, and so he does.
right.
That's
But-
a great scene too, where he has his shirt off
Shirt
and he just
open.
has the over his shoulder gun holsters,
holsters,
so you
right.
can't see that he has a fake chest there.
Yeah.
And he's
Which is
reaching
brilliantly
into
done,
his
by the way.
stomach pussy.
Yeah, it is. It's totally a stomach
Totally a
pussy.
stussy.
And
Yeah.
he's got his gun and he's
Or a
got his
stomussy.
gun hand in there, and then he reaches. He leaves the gun in. He's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's a gun though.
And then he can't find his gun when
tearing
he's
his
not
gun- couch
hallucinating.
apart.
Yeah. Which is completely fucked up. And I totally noticed the stomach pussy too. And there's a lot of
But
like
if you were gonna make never mind, go ahead.
There's
a human VCR, what else would it look like?
there is a lot of like sexual
This was Cronenberg's
Visualization.
take on because I remember reading little interviews. It was his take on television and movies in Hollywood taking over people's lives.
right.
And it was kind of his take on it. And of course, sex in television and violence and all that. And of course, I'm going to make an artsy film about all this shit. But by the way, I'm the second most fucked up director on the planet. So,
Who's first?
Kubrick.
Kubrick. I'd put him second because
I would say, yeah, I would definitely say
fucked up is
Kubrick is
second.
less
I would put
fucked up,
I put
it's
but
more,
he's more successful. So it's
Terry
like,
Gilliam up there
what do you
too.
do?
With like
well, he's more on the fun side of fucked up.
the fun side of fucked up. That episode name right there.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam is like the naked in the middle of the street fucked up. David Cronenberg is like fuck your animals and then eat them.
That might be the episode name too.
Fuck your animals and then eat them?
Let's not do that.
Let's go ahead and keep it PG for the titles, for at least the
least-
titles of the podcast.
Then we're just gonna get a really lot of fucked up listeners at that point. Go to Google and type it in. Fuck your animals and then eat them.
Comments on any of the videos and stuff are just gonna be
And heavy breathing.
insert heavy breathing comment here. Stomach pussy, I'd fuck it.
Oh god.
So everything that Dr. Oblivion says about TV, the future of TV, that's the internet,
Right.
as we know it now. People have internet names. Mr. Roast.
Right.
and
Sir Roast.
And Mr. Kill.
Mr. Kill!
And
what I wanna be
Frexy
in the movie.
Frankenstein over there.
Right. Are you
I'm better with Frexy Frankenstein. Although I can't say it.
Frexy Frankenstein. That's why he likes it better, because he knows that no one's going to be able to actually say it. When I go home tonight, I'm going to
No, it's because it's not a reference to one of his least favorite movies ever.
Oh shit. Okay, so but yeah, back to like the sexual visualization. You kind of had like whenever the gun started fusing to his hand or whatever, that looked real phallic too. In
Well,
my
it's
opinion.
a pointing thing that shoots stuff.
Guns are just
a
phallic in
pointy,
general.
a pointy, fleshy thing.
Well, yeah, because it's part of
It's
his
a
body.
dick hand, let's just say it.
It's like spikes go from the end of his fingers. They pierce his the meaty part of his thumb. So the gun is stuck there.
So his
and then
hand turned into the
skin goes
hand
over.
from what the fuck was that movie we just podcasted? Where the
Inner
guy had-
Space?
yeah, where the guy had dildo hand.
No, because this is like it's gooey. It's all gooey and
Yeah.
like
So it's like the Inner Space.
it's
guy.
more like Tokyo Gore Police.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is a lot like that.
Yeah, like his hand like morphs to the gun basically, and then there's goo and flesh.
Well, I never noticed what it looked like in Inner Space. I didn't notice that he had a dick hand. I must have looked away for 1 second while they were like, he was like,
They're going, but yeah, like that's what confused me about this movie is not only was it severely just fucked up and dark. I mean, obviously I expected dark from Cronenberg.
Yeah.
And I expected like bloody, gross special effects and shit too. What I didn't expect was the constant jump between hallucination and reality, where I couldn't tell the difference.
well,
There's a
that's
lot of
like
that with Cronenberg, though.
your opinion, man.
Well, no, you're totally right though. It's just my interpretation of it.
I was able to figure out. I mean, basically, just anytime something extremely fucked up is happening, it's not really happening. It's in his mind.
Well, what about when he just goes on a murder spree? I mean,
Right.
is
Well,
that
that-
really happening?
that really happened, but that was
because it is
they
implanted
suggested
in
it to him that he
Right.
should do that.
And then he got new orders implanted
Basically.
by Oblivion's daughter,
Right.
Oh, no, yeah, that was right. It was the.
and that's what leads to the end of
Bianca,
the movie.
that was her name, Bianca.
It was a very twisted movie, but I thought. It was
And I
awesome.
didn't. I can't say I liked it because it didn't give me any kind of satisfaction feeling. Like especially at the end, where you don't like James Woods. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
piece of shit anyway. So you're not.
You're not supposed to feel satisfied by it. It's supposed to freak you out. That's the point.
And it does. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess if that's the point, it totally does its job for me.
It's supposed to explode your mind.
It's a good movie, but it's
No,
not a
that's what
fun movie
Scanners
in any
do.
way.
Huh?
It's a good movie, but it's not a fun movie in any way.
No, and it's a little bit depressing, and it's just.
If I had a dick hand, I'd be more than a little depressed.
But-
Or a stomach
It's like,
pussy.
first of all, Stupid.
When are you gonna
You
start
fuck
like
your stomach with your dick hand?
you're gonna start messing with that? You spit on it.
But
Sometimes I wish people could see us, and other times I'm so happy they can't.
But
Yeah, they would have been real confused by me poking myself in my
Can
stomach.
I bring my stomach pussy to climax? I wonder.
this is one of the few movies that I've watched where after it's over, I just go, "What the fuck did I just watch?" Like
Obviously, you've never seen Antichrist.
I have
Oh,
not seen
fuck.
Antichrist.
We are not fucking podcasting. That is bullshit.
One
No.
of them, the only movie that comes to mind when I think of movies that I had no fucking clue what just happened was Revolver. Was that what it was called?
Revolver?
With, I think Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
But it was before he was just in a million movies that were basically just
Yeah,
Same
hair
the
in a
transporter.
revolver. It was weird.
Yeah.
And didn't it
It
also
was-
have like Andre 3000 in it too?
There were a ton of really awesome people in it.
Yeah, but it was a really fucked up movie.
It was super confusing. I don't know what I still don't know what the fuck happened. I watched it twice.
That's what I'm saying. Like this
I'll have to
movie.
cheat it in Wikipedia to figure out exactly what the plot was.
That's what he said about Videodrome. He was like, "I have to TV trope this so I know what the fuck happened." And that's how I felt after this. And it's not necessarily that it was bad because I didn't dislike the film. I didn't dislike any of the acting. I didn't think the acting was bad. I thought the special effects were badass, and the directing was good. But I just left. I guess I was supposed to leave uneasy, and that's how I felt when I finished it.
So it
Mission
was
accomplished.
successful, but you didn't quite like it.
Right, because I don't know. I guess I'm a sucker for some kind of closure with a movie.
Well,
Well,
you're trained to like
Well,
that.
Honestly,
you don't
I
get much
think
more
that's-
clothes than that. You know,
Yeah,
there's no open end on that.
yeah. He just kind of visualizes that he blows his brains out, and then he blows his brains out.
Well, he sees a vision of himself on TV, which is it's the Videodrome suggestion that
Blow your
hey,
brains
you
out.
Basically,
should kill yourself now
the-
because
yeah,
that's
let's
how
say
you'll
he
be
just-
the new Flash.
Right.
Exactly.
Long
And
live
that
the
part-
new Flash.
And that part was weird to me too. When the whole talk of like the new flesh, is that like what they're trying to transform these psychos into?
No,
Like-
it's just another form of manipulation. It's just what they tell them so that they'll do what they want them to do.
But I mean, what is the new flesh? Like what is it?
It's an abstract concept. Like he's shedding his his human corporeal form and becoming higher power or a higher
Well,
plane of-
literally, he's just dead,
plane of
but-
intelligence. Yeah, but
Yeah.
really, it's just they're telling him that so he'll
We're
kill him.
just fucking
It's basically
with
like whenever you tell someone that they'll get 1,000,000 virgins and all that crazy shit if they'll blow themselves up.
yeah, it's very similar to that.
It's pretty much the exact same thing, actually. So,
So-
they're basically just saying
You guys
you're
are
going to
just
be.
shitting on the Middle Eastern cultures over here. He's watching Saddam Hussein get hung 400,000
Well, I'm
times.
sorry, I don't agree with suicide bombers. That's a culture I can't really get into or support.
Especially if it's just to get your dick wet.
Yeah, it's like you can get your dick wet if you blow everybody up.
Not even your dick, like your
Yeah, your ghost.
Your
dick.
heaven ghost dick. Yeah,
I was gonna
mean-
say Your astral plane dick.
Right, your ethereal dick.
Ethereal dick. I touched the ethereal dick.
Metal band name.
Ethereal dick.
Ethereal dick.
Prepare to be fucked by the ethereal dick.
Would that be a metal band or would it be like an industrial band? Like,
Well,
Either
progressive death metal.
industrial progressive death metal.
There you go.
industrial progressive grindcore.
I'm in tears.
Such a great fucking band.
I'm in tears.
Travis Harden is working on it right now.
Yeah, he heard us. He heard us talking about it.
Holy shit.
I sense a disturbance.
So, D-Hart, what's the reason that you picked Videodrome over Naked Lunch?
So,
It's
Why
it's
did
fucked up as-
we Videodrome over
I'm gonna beat you to death with this R2D2 bank.
It looks like a dick.
R2D dick.
Look at the slit. That's a cock.
Me and Mark were just talking today about he drew a cock on my chalkboard, and he just made a little slit where the pee hole is. And I said, why is that the universal pee hole when you're drawing dicks? It's just a slit, like no opening. Just...
What? It's easier.
This country is lazy.
Too lazy to draw dick holes.
Okay, so the reason I picked this over Naked Lunch is because, as fucked up as this is, it's a lot clearer than Naked Lunch. And Naked Lunch is actually written by Cronenberg.
This isn't, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, this is-
Videodrome is written by
Written by
Cronenberg.
Cronenberg,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Naked,
Naked Lunch is based off of a book.
Yeah, it's by William Burroughs.
Oh,
To make this a
And
true
he is
Cronin
fucked
cast.
up. He is fucked up on. There's like, I'm pretty sure. I think it was just heroin or. But,
Heroin's a hell of a drug.
it's like he wrote a book that didn't make any fucking sense, and then he took all the pieces and put them out of order. I'd say
On purpose.
on purpose. So who the fuck knows what was? Only thing we know was in his mind was heroin.
He was
know-
like, I'm going
we
to make a
know that-
movie that's the embodiment of heroin.
We know that
Well, now we know what happened to Philip Seymour Hoffman.
we know Cronenberg has things on his mind because he has definite themes that you can see in a lot of his movies. Most of them body horror. So there you go.
So, yeah.
That's why I
so
picked
there it
that
is.
over that.
So,
There it is.
yeah.
There it
So-
is.
That is.
There it is. Oh, Jeff Goldblum.
We
You
love
were,
you.
You were so good in The Fly.
Man, fuck Jeff Goldblum, man.
So, since this is your podcast, D-Hart, are we going to move to Scanners, or is there anything else you want to say about Videodrome?
No, I'm ready for Scanners if you are.
I am ready for Scanners. Scanners is much better than Videodrome. It's still, not that good, but it has Michael Ironside in it.
Who
I
just
wouldn't
looks
say
like
it's
welfare
much
Jack
better.
Nicholson in this movie.
Yeah, he
I
does.
like it better, but I wouldn't say it's terribly a lot.
I watched Scanners.
I think
like
they were both good. I like them about equally.
I watched
It's more of a
Scanners-
clear cut plot. So.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
definitely.
easy. I watched Scanners just a little over a year ago, and I remember enjoying it a lot more than I sat here and watched it with Steven today. I was bored as fuck through the whole thing because it is really, really slow.
It is very slow.
Yeah.
It's a slow movie, and
Yeah.
and did
Especially considering it's a movie about people that have the ability to blow up shit or blow up other people's minds with their mind. That's their special ability.
Now, I know this came out beforehand, and I don't know if you were on this podcast, Mark, but Philip, I know you were, and D-Hart, I think you were. Did the plot kind of remind you of Trancers a little bit? You had the, crazy special power people, and then you had the police chasing
There was a
them.
lot of, political overtones and, the government is out to get you and that kind of shit.
Well,
that was
just
real
the
real
80s,
popular in the 80s because
Yeah.
of Reagan.
So, I mean, I think that's probably what the connection is in your mind. That I can definitely see the resemblance there.
and-
Also, once again, like
80s.
Mark just said, it was just same style of filming, same. it was
Well, that's what I
80s.
was saying. The filming looked very similar, and the costume design reminded me of Trancers. The only thing that didn't have
The
was
difference is Trancers is fucking terrible.
and
And the plot makes no sense, and they didn't write a script for it, obviously.
yeah,
It's a fun terrible.
and you didn't have
Oh yeah, I had so much fun watching that movie, but it was so fucking shitty.
and you didn't have McNulty in this one.
Mick Nolte. He's the shitty McDowell's version of.
McNulty.
Yeah, exactly.
McDowell's.
Chunky asses.
We have to bring up chunky asses every time.
At least
By the
every
way,
podcast.
Mark, I know that you probably haven't listened to some of the podcasts recently.
Oh, I know. You told me that every time that I've had to miss a podcast, it's because I'm reading chunky asses.
No, you're posing and getting your
You're in chunky
you're in
asses.
chunky
Oh,
asses.
so it evolved. Like the first time I was just reading chunky asses.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of stuff, and that involves chunky asses.
Yeah.
And now you're, like, I guess you saw it. You
Well, I mean,
thought,
I kind of
I
like
can
this
do
because
this.
if I keep evolving, I'm going to be CEO of the company.
Of chunky asses.
Of chunky asses.
Chunky asses.
And then you'll be inspiring chunky asses all over the world.
I cannot wait.
You
Always-
still do.
I have always dreamed of inspiring chunky asses.
You already have. I saw that hamburger you ate this week.
Oh.
But, so let's start off Scanners, also written and directed by David Cronenberg, and starring Michael Ironside and Stephen Lack, who is fucking terrible.
I can explain exactly why he is that way in this movie.
Please explain that.
Yeah,
'Cause I
please
wanna
explain
know
it
Mark.
because I think it's just because he's a shitty actor. That's just my thought on it.
There are plot reasons why he acts that way. Am I gonna? Okay, I'm gonna have to spoil the whole movie at the very
spoil
beginning.
it.
At the end,
You're not spoiling this
At
movie.
the end, it is explained that he's been kept on ice. It's like his entire life.
Right. He's his brother.
Been like drugged up, out, basically in a coma
Right.
for however many fucking years he is old.
It's the Captain America
35,
America
yeah,
story,
he's 35.
basically.
Yeah, it's just like the Captain America story.
Just like Captain America, only people's heads in play.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
And somebody who didn't grow up really, doesn't have any kind of social experience, that's how they're gonna fucking act. They're gonna act like, I mean, the other scanner, the lady scanner, says, "You're barely human." She tells him that to his fucking face. That's because he's really not human. He was never raised as a human.
I don't know. I still think he's just a really bad actor.
I gotta agree with Mark, because the reason I say this is because it was very inconsistent dialogue. Like, his and I don't mean that as in, like, he was robotic in his dialogue, because he was a little bit, because,
he
like you
been
said,
flat and emotionless, and
Right.
I would have been
Yeah.
okay with
which
that.
he was in certain parts.
You mean he could have been Keanu Reeves?
But there was a scene, and it was a scene when he's talking to Ironside toward the end of the movie, when they're on the separate couches from each other, and Ironside is basically telling him, "Hey, do you remember your mother? Do you remember your father? Whatever." And he's like, "No, I'm the only help you got." And he's just like, "You? Why you? How can you be the only help?" And it's like,
Oh my god, it's going to kill us.
yeah, it's like the fucking girl in Troll 2. Worst. I was just like, Mark, are you watching this fucking acting right now? What happened? Did they film the fucking end of this like 4 years before he learned how to act, and then film the rest later? It was shitty. Stephen Lack can suck my ass, because he hasn't done shit since 2002.
Well, here, according to IMDb, he plays Cameron Vale as Stephen Lack.
Well, no, he was. Apparently, they misspelled his name whenever they put him in the credits.
Oh, okay.
They spelled it with a V in the credits.
Oh, okay.
Fucking shitty. But anyway, that's my biggest complaint. Besides it being a little bit slow,
I'd be pretty pissed if that happened to me.
Stephen Lack, to me, they could have found...
The gore and special effects are awesome.
Jeff Goldblum could have played that part so much fucking better.
Well, this is before the plot.
I don't care.
This is before he was.
This is before Jeff Goldblum.
This is before he was making movies in America.
Oh, okay. Where
I mean,
was
was-
this filmed?
I'm pretty sure this is
Canada?
One.
Canada? Yeah.
It's like
Where was this filmed? 81.
No, I thought
He said Toronto.
Oh, Toronto?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh.
And that is where it was filmed.
it's like pretty much all of his movies up until he became a big shot. Too good for Canada.
Yeah.
Let's
But-
move to a bigger market where people speak,
Yeah.
America.
Mark had me laughing in the beginning of this movie because there was some doctor or whatever, and I was like, man, that guy looks familiar. Mark just goes, he won't in a second, because his fucking head explodes.
God damn it.
I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience.
Yeah. Like, what was he going, what was he?
They were part of a group that was trying to use scanners for defense purposes.
Right.
So they were giving a demonstration, and someone from this, what was supposed to be a screened group, was supposed to come and experience scanning,
But he was a
so they
mole.
would understand
Right.
what that meant.
I see.
But he was the mole.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That
I mean, he
works.
could have just implanted like, "Hey, I'm supposed to be here" in anybody's brain at the door,
Exactly.
and he would have been right there.
Gotcha. So much implanting with Cronenberg.
Right. A lot of shit going.
A lot of stomach vaginas.
Michael Ironside like trying to lobotomize himself in the movie at one point, and that's why he has like the little scar on his forehead.
And you do see a lot of reoccurring themes with Cronenberg's directing. I've noticed, like even from The Fly over to this, and like you always kind of don't feel shit for the main character. You don't feel sorry for him. You don't really like him that much. Like look at Viggo Mortensen in History. I don't know if you guys seen any of the newer History of Violence or.
I've seen History of Violence, and I didn't give a fuck about Viggo Mortensen. I was actually kind of like, I liked that movie pretty well, but overall I was just like, who's the good guy in this movie?
Right, and Eastern Promises is the same way, and The Fly,
but there doesn't always have to be a good guy, and in real life there pretty much aren't any. So.
Right. But what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily even a good guy. It's just that when bad shit happens to the main character, you have no remorse almost. You're just like, well, that's what he gets for being a fucking idiot, almost. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but that goes along with a lot of these same things. It's like, obviously, if everyone thought clearly through before they did crazy science experiments, or, they would obviously, none of this shit would happen, and then the movie would be super boring and terrible.
And I don't think Cronenberg wants people to feel pity for his characters. I think that's exactly what it is.
Right.
I don't think he wants emotional attachment to the characters. He wants you to pay attention to what's going on.
And and to go back to Skinner's the idea of it, the exploding of the heads isn't really the main, I guess, point of being able to scan people. Yeah.
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say it's not the point of the movie. I'm like, it's totally the point of the movie.
Well, no.
No, it only happens once in this one.
Right.
Yeah, but
not so in the sequels.
It doesn't matter.
I want to talk about briefly after we get done.
But that's how they sell
and that's
the
what
movie.
I'm saying. There's a lot of absorption of like other people's personas, basically. Like
you scan for information. There's mind reading, using people and making them do things, mind control. There's a lot more.
Well, in the end, he just fucking becomes the other person.
Yeah,
he invades his mind.
Right, and so I think that's a little bit more to do with the whole scanning process than like, I'm just going to use this to blow people's heads up, which obviously we're going to like way more.
I think that would be the ultimate act of scanning. To put your entire consciousness living into somebody else and just stay there. My body is gone now. I have yours.
I don't need it anymore. I'm Michael Ironside, motherfucker. I have become a much better actor.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger's going to rip off my arms and like...
See at
the body, Richter.
Michael Ironside is fucking great.
I thought his name was
he's the only good actor in the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
He's the only good actor.
Well, the Doctor was pretty good too.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth.
What's his name? McGonagall? No, Magoohan.
This guy who played the King Edward in Braveheart.
Yeah. He was pretty good. He's dead.
He was pretty good, and now he's not. Now he's pretty corpse.
Yeah, he
was 6,000 when he died.
Yeah.
He was actually, he was there when Jesus died.
Yeah.
And came back.
He killed Jesus.
Fully grown at that time.
One thing I love about Cronenberg's work is it's so reminiscent of movies that I fucking like. I know, like, I'm not going to say that I don't love his movies, because I do. I mean, The Fly is one of my favorite horror movies. But Cronenberg's, his usage of special effects in his movies. I know that's not him doing the movies, or the special effects.
Yeah, but that stuff's directly stemming from him.
Right, exactly. And it's so reminiscent of movies that I fucking love that are like that, like From Beyond and.
I think this was before those.
No, I'm saying that it's reminiscent. It's
in that same time period.
The Thing, The Thing, like to me,
it's really badass practical effects. Is really what you're saying. You just love them, and
but
that's
not
why
just
you like
because,
those movies.
Not just because they're like bad. I mean, yes, because they're badass, but it's that style. It's like everything's just gooey and fucking just nasty. Like the fucking end of this movie.
You mean like Alien?
Yes.
Reanimator.
Yeah, I mean, these movies, all these movies you keep talking about, and like when the fucking chestbuster comes out in Alien, it's so fucking nasty. Like, because it's like that, it's not even blood at first, it's like that gooey slime whatever coming out of the shirt, and you're just like, ugh. But the end of this movie,
you're like, what?
When they when the veins start like pulsating, and then the little patches of skin on their faces start swelling, and you just see like It's like when you have a water balloon.
His head just turns into a sprinkler of blood.
Basically, it's a water balloon that you poke a tiny little pinhole in,
Yeah.
but it's not enough for it to pop it.
Well, the reason it looks like that is because that's what it is. It's just a subdermal water balloon that you stabbed it and it just squirts out.
So fucking
Pink
nasty
blood.
looking.
And it looked really good.
Oh yeah.
Especially for 1981. you
Yeah.
know,
It was so fucking gross looking. And then Michael Ironside goes fucking Super Saiyan.
Well, they both go Super Saiyan on each other.
Yeah, and that's the point.
Oh shit.
They're
And like,
comparing psychic dicks at the end.
well, that's what we said. It was like the quietest.
Yeah, but the very end of it made absolutely no fucking sense at all. I mean, it made no sense. I know that the whole entire point was get rid of Revik, which is Michael Ironside's character.
Yeah.
And he did. But it was obvious, like, it was either one of two things. With Cronenberg, you can never tell. Either Michael Ironside was way more badass than shitty actor guy, and blew up shitty actor guy and made him burn himself alive, or that's what he meant to do so that he could take over.
Well, that you did that
It's
on
one or
purpose.
the other.
But why
Well, I
would
mean,
he want to be that
Well,
other
first
guy?
of all, Michael Ironside's eyes turn
Yeah,
colors, and he says it. He says the last line in the other actor's voice.
Mhm.
So that's how you know his
Yeah,
mind
but-
has been taken over by the other
But
character.
why? Who cares?
I'm gonna suck your
What do you mean,
brains
why?
out.
But what's
Yeah.
the point?
No, yeah, that's what I kind of get what Mark's saying here. Like, I don't understand why he wouldn't just kill Michael Ironside.
Because he didn't have the experience to do it. The other guy was way more
Well,
experienced at scanning.
Michael Ironside said he's like, I'm going to basically absorb you. He's going to Highlander him. He was going to kill
Like
him.
that,
and take all
that
of
was his
power.
point anyway.
Yeah.
Like he was going to do that anyway.
Mhm.
So my question is rather than let himself be absorbed by Michael Ironside and then take over his body, why didn't he just fucking destroy Michael Ironside?
I think
Obviously, he was
he
powerful enough too. If he could invade his mind and then take over him.
I'm willing to accept that possibly there are different kinds of psychic talents that this guy might have or might not have, and maybe he's just stronger at taking over minds than he is at just exploding other people's heads.
I think what it is
Priorities, man.
I think what it is it was a battle back and forth, and at a certain point, his body becomes so damaged
Right.
that was the only out he had.
I
either
could definitely accept that.
I can see that.
Because his eyes fucking explode.
Yeah, and his hands are on fire.
And he catches
Oh,
on
his whole
fire.
body's
Well,
on fire.
That's when he goes. After his eyes
He's got
explode,
Super
Super
Saiyan.
Saiyan.
that's when he goes Super Saiyan, and he starts sprouting fire from his hands.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's when the tide turns, and he's invading.
And at that point, he had ripped off pretty much like all of his face too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
guess.
and then he had the hole in his chest where the guy had made his fucking heart explode.
Yeah, I guess you're right. He didn't really have any body left to go to. So okay, that I totally get. I totally get.
And
that.
then he sat in a corner with a goddamn blanket over him like a sad puppy.
Yeah,
until
what
the
what
chick
was
showed
that
up.
about? Like,
That was so you
it's
could be
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That was
nothing
just
wrong with
dramatic.
him. Even though Michael
Yeah.
Ironside's face had been hosing blood out of it, he was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Well,
That was kind of.
he was healed by mind powers.
Yeah, he was healed by mind powers.
yeah.
Why
A
not?
wizard did it.
Magic, time travel.
Why not, you say?
Why not? I
And
mean,
why not indeed?
He's got a nervous system. He can interface with his own nervous system and can repair his body.
Well, he
Yep.
did. They were
He
talking
could send
about.
all the repairing, animals
Yeah.
to the top of his
Well,
head.
they did talk. They did talk. They did talk about how the guy could control like his own heart rate and
His own boner rate.
Hey, I'm ready.
His own boner rate. The rate at which he gets boners.
Okay, since we went straight to the end,
Straight to boners.
scanners are the result of ephemeral.
Right.
When being exposed to that whenever
Whenever you're in the fetus.
in the fetal stage.
Mhm.
It's kind of like being a crack baby, only you become a superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
basically.
being crack baby was a superpower,
That was one thing I don't think I ever really figured out about the movie was, were they purposefully fooling these women into taking the ephemeral, and just saying it was going to help them with morning sickness, but in reality they were trying to make psychic people? Or were
That's-
they just didn't realize it was going to fuck them up, and then it did, and they were like, fuck yeah, let's keep doing it.
okay, first generation scanners, accident.
Okay.
Second generation scanners are a result of the right program, which Revik puts in, so scanners can take over the world.
Right.
He wants to be top scanner, and it's like, hey, we're better, we're people plus one.
Right. Well,
So
I mean,
we
which is every time
is
somebody has a
basically
superpower in
Magneto.
a movie, they
Yeah,
think,
exactly.
exactly. They think
Yeah.
we're the greatest. They're fucking subhuman. Fuck them.
Let's get rid of them.
They're sub whatever we are.
I did love the reaction of shitty Stephen Lack's character whenever the chick was in the elevator and she with the other girl and the other girl like scanned her And she came out and she had the bloody nose or whatever, and she was like, "I've been scanned." The girl in the elevator, and then he was just like, "She scanned you? Like, did you fuck her? Did you fuck her?"
Oh, and then she said that it was actually the unborn baby. That
Yeah, it was the fetus that did it.
That wasn't an elevator. That was in a waiting room. And
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was
It
an
was, I don't know
elevator.
why you said it was I was really
And it's
confused.
like, elevator.
I'm sorry. Yeah, waiting room.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "She fucked her." I'm sorry.
She fucked her?
She
She fucked you?
She did? It was just like, terrible. Stop acting. But Ironside was badass in this movie.
He was.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Evan about this, and I was like, wouldn't he have made, if they would have decided to go gritty with Batman back in the 80s,
Ironside.
wouldn't he have been perfect for the Joker?
Absolutely. Well, he already fucking looks like Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, in the
I mean-
80s, he looks exactly like Jack Nicholson. He's
Also, yeah, he's fucking obviously insane. Just in
Yeah.
real life.
Exactly.
Well, I can see him as several. I mean, I thought you were going to say, could you see him as Batman? And I was like, kind of. I could kind of see him as Batman.
like a Frank Miller version.
He could
of
never,
Batman.
he
I
could never
totally
be,
fucking
he
could.
could never be Bruce Wayne though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah, I think he could.
As the Frank Miller version, like if they did the Dark Knight Returns back in the 80s.
The problem is,
Michael
like, when I
Ironside
see
would've been awesome for
Michael
that.
Ironside's face, I just see murder face. Like, he does not.
That's what Frank Miller Batman was. Though,
Yeah,
was
Frank-
murder face.
What I'm saying is, though,
Batman was
he would have
schizophrenic.
never fucking fooled a single person pretending to just be Bruce Wayne. Like, everyone would have been like, "You're fucking murder Batman. We know it."
You're murder Batman. I don't know though, Mark. Like, I totally could see him as Frank Miller Batman. I mean, and that's kind of.
Well, I think he could do the acting. I just think every time I see him, I would just automatically know that he was.
Oh, he
evil.
definitely wouldn't look like it, but
Especially if he had the hair that he had in Highlander 2.
God, dude, can we just pretend that Highlander never existed?
Highlander fans don't pretend that Highlander 2 never existed.
I
mean,
think
it
we
doesn't
should
fit
pretend
in-
that the entire fucking series
first of
and
all-
movies doesn't
well,
exist.
Highlander 3 and the rest of the sequels pretend like Highlander 2 doesn't
Okay,
exist.
hold on. No Highlander sequel acknowledges any other previous
Why
Highlander.
I was gonna
why
say-
are we excluding the first movie like it was good? Fuck all Highlander.
I
No,
like
but
the
the
first movie.
the
Fuck
problem.
you and fuck Irish, Spanish, Sean Connery. Fuck
You
it.
mean Irish, Spanish, Japanese, Sean Connery?
Yeah.
Irish, Spanish, Egyptian,
Japanese, Sean
Sean
Connery.
Connery.
Oh my god. That movie was shit.
Love it.
Bliss.
I love it.
Well, it doesn't matter because at least it didn't completely contradict something that came right before it. Right before it! With the same fucking actors. Like, if they just wanted to completely go off the rails and do whatever they wanted, maybe just don't use all the same actors and pretend like you're trying to continue the story. Just completely bullshit.
Yeah, but how can you sell? Back in the 80s, you couldn't sell the sequel of a movie with different actors.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, does that explain Scanners 2? Scanners
Yes.
3?
Let's
Scanners 2, 1991.
Scanner
Scanners 3,
Cop.
1993.
Scanner Cop 2?
Yeah.
What the
Scanner Cop!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a spin-off of Scanners?
Yes.
No! Please, just, I don't want to hear about it.
But they didn't sell them very well.
No,
All of
no,
those
no,
motherfuckers
no.
were like straight
No,
to video.
they
release.
were all straight to video.
Yeah.
Was
And-
Scanners a theater release?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, the first one was. Yes.
And,
I don't remember. I wasn't born.
One of the producers...
You don't remember.
D. Hart and I were 96, actually, in 1981.
Were you
Well,
born in 81? Was that
yes.
the year you were born?
That was the year I was born.
Oh, gotcha.
And basically, one of the producers, Pierre David, is like, I guess he loved this idea because he made Scanners 2, which is a scanner that's hired by a politician. It's really nothing special. I mean, it's
Obviously
completely
not.
forgettable. That was from '91, about 10 years later, and also from '91, Scanners 3. which
Both
is-
came out in 91.
Yeah,
And the cover of Scanners 2 is just a head exploded.
that's because they put like 5 head explosions in each one of the sequels.
Oh my god.
Like 5 more.
And it's like filled with a bunch of people I've never even fucking heard of. Who the hell is
And you
David
never
Hewlett?
will.
David Hewlett?
Let's see. He's famous for The Cube.
Stargate Atlantis.
He was
Oh,
in
the-
Rise of the
twice.
Planet of the
The,
Apes.
the shittiest Stargate show that ever came out. God damn it.
And Scanner 3, where it's a Scanner brother versus Scanner sister. So it's kind of like the original
I've seen
Scanners,
that
except for
I don't remember
Except for
seeing
brother and
Scanners
sister
2,
instead of
Yeah,
father son.
and-
but I
not
think
good.
I have seen Scanners 3.
Scanner Cop is like I give it credit for being better than the Scanner sequels.
Really?
Yeah.
You've seen all these movies?
Yeah, I watched these two because I'd never heard of them before, specifically for this podcast.
God.
God
Damn
damn
it.
it. What the hell is the matter with you?
Just no.
Scanner Cop 2. Well, that's not this.
I've never heard of anyone in any of these movies. Not one fucking person.
Why would you have? They're just random people.
Except
that
Michael
found on the
Ironside and Banana Hand, or whatever his name is. Magagagoon.
Magagagoon. Fucking Ed Magoohan.
Ed Magoohan, yeah.
Patrick McGowan.
Patrick McGowan. What a weird name. There's no way I'd tell anybody that was my name.
Okay,
You wouldn't tell them?
the Scanner
What's
Cop
your
2,
name? I won't tell you.
that one goes into basically... It's basically Highlander, because a scanner learns that he can suck out the life force and power of other scanners, and he's out for revenge
By doing this.
against Scanner Cop.
No, from Jack Frost.
Yeah, that's what they do. They go,
Oh god, this guy is so bad at it because no, not him. He's the Scanner Cop.
Daniel Quinn.
Yeah, he plays the villain in the movie.
Okay. Stephen Mendel.
Patrick Kilpatrick.
Patrick.
And
Patrick Kilpatrick.
and it,
Hi.
Patrick, kill yourself.
when he's sucking the power out of people, it's like they keep cutting him for like reaction shots, and he keeps having to do a different face, like excitement, terror,
God.
anger. It's
Like, do all the emotions.
Yes, all of them. Do all of them.
Emote for crying out
We're
loud.
going to cut to
Comedy.
every single one of them.
Yeah.
Dude.
For a reaction
Shitty.
shot while we're doing this, while we're switching out the dummies where it's...
He was. His first movie was The Toxic Avenger.
He was in Last Man Standing. I remember his character in Last Man
Oh
Standing.
my, I can't right now. Like, I can't even
I
process.
had no idea. I knew there were Scanners 2 and 3, but I had no fucking clue
So,
about Scanner Cop 1 and
Would
2.
you say that Scanner sequels were better or worse than Transfer sequels?
Probably worse.
I would say worse, because
First of all,
Transfers, you're starting from a fairly low point.
yeah.
And you're staying at that fairly low point.
Transfers
pretty much all the way
2,
through.
I think is better than Transfers 1 because it just acknowledges the fact that it's terrible, obviously,
Plus, there was mustard cutting.
and there was more of my favorite guy.
Tim Thomerson, who always played Billy Bonenson and Christopherson.
Yeah, Billy Bonenson. I think you
Billy
made that one up.
Bones. Billy Boners.
I didn't make that up, but oh well. I'm not.
Stop
gonna use
looking at it.
Well, I think that if you love horror, I would count. No, science fiction. I put this in the science fiction category. Probably,
Yeah.
definitely.
There's so much gore.
Yeah, it's hard to classify it into one genre. I'd say
Well,
science
most
fiction
movies
horror.
are.
Yeah, definitely science fiction horror.
And I love how they did the famous head explosion, because they said they had like an inflatable head.
And
that
you're talking
they were
about in
pumping
the
in
beginning,
fake,
right?
Yeah, fake
Okay.
blood, like hamburger meat, and then they shot it with a fucking shotgun
Well,
from behind
if you want
to
things
make
to,
it.
that's fucking awesome. Actually,
That's brilliant.
It is.
That's
they
exactly
must have filmed the part with nobody sitting.
anywhere in
They had
the.
to.
Obviously.
Well,
In the
if
front.
you look, like, there's such a bad
Steven, it
fucking
was just
cut.
a camera and an
Yeah.
inflatable and a dude with a shotgun. That's
Yeah.
all that was in the room.
There's really bad continuity in that scene in Scanners, because if you watch when that guy's head explodes, when they cut away to the whole room like running out, and you look at the desk where the guy where his head exploded was sitting, there's not a bit of blood anywhere. There's zero blood. I mean, not like, oh, it's sprayed all up in the air. No, there's no fucking blood. So you can tell that they didn't think that all the way through.
Well, he was an independent filmmaker, man. He probably didn't have permission from that place to. It's like, hey, you can't explode a head in here. That has to be done on a.
It's like if you want to do that, you're gonna have to pay us a hell of a lot more.
It's like, okay, we'll do that someplace else.
Yeah, no shit.
That's why it's just a perfectly black background.
There was, the scanning part of this movie, where a lot of times, like, somebody would do something wrong and somebody would start scanning the other person and just, like, look at them with, like, a stern look or something
Yeah.
like that.
And they start
There
doing
was so
shaky
much
head.
overacting with so many of the actors where they're just like,
Steven,
Well, you can't.
you make it seem like someone's being scanned without special effects.
well,
Like, just look at somebody. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you want them to do? Like, they have to just do stern
well,
looks and like overacting.
They could do something better than
Well, if they were doing,
They could have. If they would
Steven,
have actually gotten
that was
good
acting
actors.
in the 1980s.
if they would have, if this would have been a modern movie, they would have just had like a straight-on shot of somebody, and they would have made the camera shake. And that's all of it.
But did the scenes have to be so
To
fucking?
dubstep.
Did the scene have to be so fucking?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Exactly.
But did the scenes have to be so fucking long? Some of those scenes you have
Scanners
to,
is like 2 hours long.
and like at least 20 minutes. At least 20 minutes could have been cut out of the fucking
But at
movie.
least 20 minutes is just two people staring at each other, like looking like they're constipated.
Yeah.
While with their heads shaking because they're going, I'm gonna make your head explode!
You have to admit that those scenes where they're trying to scan other people, it's like, dude, we get it. Just have something happen. Stop making 400 I have to shit faces.
And why would you ever want to be a scanner? Because no matter, whenever they scanned people, it looked like it hurt like fuck.
Well, yeah, it's
Even
pretty
as
awful.
as the
Well, I
scanner,
mean,
you're
it's-
like,
Yeah, it's pretty awful. I do it all the time.
I mean, that's the way they describe it in the movie. It's like, you have to take ephemeral to keep it in check.
Right.
So you don't go fucking nuts
And
from
just-
hearing everybody's thoughts all the time.
Right. I still think you should watch both of these movies, people.
Yeah,
Because-
they're definitely worth a watch.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
for
sure.
sure, yeah.
Even with as fucked up as I think Videodrome is, it's still like
I
super
still
cool story.
don't think. I mean, I guess I'm just desensitized to it, but I still don't think it was any more fucked up than.
Didn't you watch this movie drunk? You said.
I mean, I watched it more recently, not drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, Travis, I'm never watching this movie again. Like, why the fuck did you make me watch this?
You're over there shaking,
It's pissing my pants.
rocking back and forth.
over there getting scanned.
Yeah.
With Philip, Travis watches Videodrome, a good movie. With me, we watch Lady Terminator.
But I was hammered though, and it was just scary.
Well, at least you didn't fucking hear for 3 hours when you had to work at 5 a.m. about how underrated of a movie The Cable Guy was. Fucker. Fuck you, Travis.
Well, it was your own fault, Steven. I blame you.
God, they had a copy of Lady Terminator at buybacks for like 6 months. And it was like $25. So like nobody fucking bought it, of course.
Lady Terminator.
Right. Like no one would pay for that. Throw it away.
We should definitely podcast it, though.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Dude,
That can-
some of it...
No!
Some of
Dude.
it is straight
Hey.
lifted.
That can be in the Mockbuster podcast.
No!
Lady Terminator.
I'm not doing that.
we know. All right, so I guess we'll wrap things up with some plugs. Check us out on MPM Podcasts on Twitter, iTunes, where you can rate and review us, as well as download all our episodes for free,
Except for the ones that you can't.
which you can find where?
Your mom's house.
My mom's house.
On Unitedcypher.com.
Right. Where if you
Which
just...
you can
Are they all
browse
on
at your
there?
mom's house.
It's true. Or you can just scroll down and click on the link at the bottom of the episode page. So you can find us on YouTube, because D-Hart puts our episodes... Are you still doing that, D-Hart?
Yeah.
Okay. You can find that up there, so check that out. As well as you can find us on Tumblr. You can find us everywhere. If you search Motion Picture Meltdown, you're going to find us.
Horsemasturbators.com.
Yeah, you can find us there, as well
God,
as...
we need to buy that URL.
as well as Chunky Asses.
Yeah, chuck asses!
So,
Seriously though, look that up.
check
It's
out...
probably like $4, and we totally need it.
No.
Yep.
Come on.
I don't want to...
I just want you to search horsemasturbators.com.
I'm not doing that.
I don't want somebody to
Then the
type
horse
in...
police are going to show up on my
Like,
doorstep.
the horse police... Type, who is horsemasturbators.com, and it comes with my fucking name.
Once again, I would like to have a real job someday. Hey,
It
Steven,
doesn't
I
matter
know
if
you're
it links to
interviewing
the
for this-
podcast. There aren't really horses being masturbated.
Hi, Steven. I know you're interviewing for this middle
I
school
noticed,
job
I
today.
noticed that you have a website called horsemasturbators.com
Would that be
So-
that you regularly
What
plug.
exactly do you do on this website? Well, actually, there's a little explanation there.
Chunky
No
asses.
horses are harmed in the process. We make a podcast about masturbating horses. Fuck it. Yes.
No.
Yes, actually, yes. That's what we do.
No, but we talk about docking.
Oh.
Check out Empire Comics.
Hey,
Check
dock it,
out
dock it.
FiveFingerTees.com. Check out Return of the Living Podcast. Check out Nerdonomy, Nerds on Film, and Nerds on History. And...
And that's your homework for the week.
Yep, do it.
Check out a million things.
And
People want
also,
you to check out.
check out Chunky Asses.
And horse.
Chuck asses!
And Mark, you've got a YouTube channel as well. Why don't you plug that?
Oh, no, there's no reason to plug that here.
What?
It has nothing to do with any movies or anything.
So?
I don't even know the URL for it.
Azazel's Fire.
That's the
on
real
YouTube.
reason.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, you type in the name, it pops up.
There you go. So look at Mark's Call of Duty. Is it just Call of Duty? I'm guessing.
No, I do other stuff.
Other games?
Yeah.
Okay, well, video, it's pretty much a video podcast type thing.
Yeah, gaming.
Yeah. So check that out, Azazel Fire on YouTube.
YouTubes.
And I guess we'll see you next time. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen the Russ Rosenberg.
Mark the Shark Kitten.
Phil Collins.
And Frexy Sankenstein D.
So sad, he didn't want to say it.
I was trying not to fucking fuck it up.
We'll see you next time.